The rapture is imminent, however. Listen to my findings and decide where you land. 40 days after the 333rd Purim blood moon, or 40 days after Nisan 17 landing on Israel's anniversary. Two timelines, one God. God does not run one clock at the end of the age, he runs two simultaneously, one for the beast's allotted 7 years. One for the bride's exit and the final harvest. Both are sealed, both land exactly on a feast. Neither contradicts the other. Together they complete the picture. Before we look at the timelines, we need to see the pattern God established at the crucifixion. Because the end mirrors the beginning. At the crucifixion, celestial signs marked the event. A blood moon rose on Passover. The sun darkened for 3 hours on Nisan 14. The resurrection came on Nisan 17. First fruits, 3 days later. Two separate events fulfilled two separate feasts in the same week. Consecutive Purim blood moons bracketed the crucifixion period from 32 to 34 AD. And 40 days after the resurrection, the ascension. Now look at what God has arranged at the end. A blood moon rose on Purim, the third consecutive Purim blood moon. On March 3rd, 2026 comet maps grazed the sun on Nisan 17 Eve. April 4th, 2026, the rapture window falls on Nisan 17. First fruits, the same date as the resurrection. Two Purim blood moons bracket this period. 2025 and 2026 matching the crucifixion pattern exactly. And 40 days after Nisan 17, Israel's 78th birthday, May 14th. This is not coincidence. This is architecture. God wrote the end into the beginning. What he did at the crucifixion, he is doing again. Larger, final, complete. Now the celestial signs, God placed signs at both ends of this period, just as he did at the crucifixion. At the opening, the Joni eclipse on April 8th, 2024, crossing Nineveh, Texas. The first Purim blood moon on March 14th, 2025, covenant time ending September 22nd, 2025. The beast clock starts the 333 stone, the second Purim blood moon. March 3rd, 2026, comet maps at Nisan 17, April 4th, 2026, Israel's 78th birthday, May 14th, 2026. At the closing, the eclipse of the century on August 2nd, 2027, over Egypt, over Mecca, over the Middle East. Apophis on Friday the 13th, April 13th, 2029, Nisan 28, the chaos serpent crossing the sky in Israel's 80th year. And at the very end, Yom Kippur, September 15th, 2032, the second coming. The Nisan 17 blood moon, April 10th, 2033, the coronation. Signs at the opening, signs at the closing, the whole period bookended by celestial witnesses. Exactly as it was at the crucifixion. Now the two clocks. Timeline 1, the beast clock, Daniel's 70th week. Covenant time ended at sundown September 22nd, 2025. God closed his covenant clock and handed the world over to the beast's 7 years. Daniel's 70th week began. The beast has been using his time, rising to power, building the system, the red horse riding, the infrastructure of the mark going in. From September 22nd, 2025, Daniel's count runs 60 days through the first half, the beginning of sorrows. Then the abomination of desolation at the midpoint. Then 1290 more days of great tribulation. 2060 plus 1290 equals 2550 days total. September 22nd, 2025 plus 2550 days equals September 15th, 2032. Yom Kippur, 2032 to September 15th, 2032. 0 days difference exact. The second coming fulfills the Day of Atonement, the day the high priest enters the Holy of Holies, the day Israel's sins are covered, the day they look on him whom they pierced and mourned, as Zechariah 12 describes, the most solemn day in the Hebrew calendar. 0-day seal.
Timeline 2. The bride's clock, the Jonah sign. Jesus said, "An evil and adulterous generation seeks after a sign, and no sign will be given to it, except the sign of the prophet Jonah. The sign of Jonah is the resurrection. 3 days in the earth, Nisan 17. The only sign Jesus said would be given to this generation. Jonah preached 40 days in Nineveh, yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. The city had 40 days to respond before the threshold crossed. Nisan 17, 2026. The sign of Jonah begins at sundown April 4th. 40 days from that date lands on May 14th, 2026, Israel's 78th birthday. The exact date Israel was born as a nation in 1948. For May 14th, 2026, 20 days, Daniel's full 70th week, lands on April 7th, 2033, Passover 2033 is April 6th. 1 day before Nisan 17, First Fruits is April 10th, 3 days after. The 20-day bride clock lands squarely in Passover week 2033. The coronation, the formal installation of the king, happens on Nisan 17, First Fruits 2033, First Fruits to First Fruits. 2,000 years from the resurrection, the harvest completed. Now, the three-way seal, the detail that moves the bride's clock from close to exact. If the rapture happens at the moment of sundown on May 13th, 2026, a single sunset fulfills 3 separate counts simultaneously. Seal 1 in Hebrew reckoning Iyar 5, Israel's birthday, begins at sundown May 13th, not May 14th on a Gregorian clock. The Hebrew day turns at sunset. The bride exits at the exact moment Israel's final 7-year countdown begins. The same sunset, the same breath. The bride goes up as Israel's final chapter opens. Seal 2, day 1 of the Jonah window opened at sundown. Nisan 17, April 4th, day 40 opens at sundown, May 13th. This is the last day of the 40-day warning period. The final day Nineveh had to respond. The bride exits on the last day of the final warning, exactly as the ark door closed on the last day before the flood. Seal 3, May 13th, sundown, plus 20 days equals April 6, 2033, Passover. Nisan 14, the lamb slain, the blood on the doorpost. The Nisan 17, First Fruits 4 days later. The coronation, the full crucifixion week pattern written into the end times count. Passover, the First Fruits, death to resurrection, not close exact. 1 sunset, 3 fulfillments. Iyar 5 begins. Israel's 78th birthday in Hebrew time. Day 40 opens. The final day of the Jonah warning window. 20 days. Lands on Passover 2033. Nisan 14 exact. 4 more days. Nisan 17, First Fruits, the coronation. The crucifixion week pattern is embedded in the count. Passover, the lamb slain, 3 days. Nisan 17, First Fruits, resurrection, harvest, coronation. The same sequence God wrote at the first coming is written into the end of the bride's 20-day clock. Death to resurrection. Passover to First Fruits, the lamb fulfilled twice. Once as sacrifice, once as king. Why did scholars miss this? The traditional framework places the rapture as the starting gun of Daniel's 7 years. But the text never says this. Daniel's 70th week belongs to the beast. It is his allotted time, given to him when covenant time ended on September 22nd, 2025.
The rapture is on a completely separate clock. The Jonah clock, the Harpazo clock. The comfort language of 1 Thessalonians 4. These are not the same event forced onto one timeline. They are two separate events running on two separate God-given clocks. God did not appoint us to wrath. Tribulation and wrath are not the same word. The wrath of the Lamb is named at seal 6 in Revelation, not seal 1. The bride exits before the wrath begins. The beast's clock keeps running after she leaves. What we have been in since September 22nd, 2025, is the first half of the beast's 7 years. What Jesus calls the beginning of sorrows in Matthew 24. Not the great tribulation. Jesus himself distinguishes between the two phases. He says, when you see the abomination of desolation, then there will be great tribulation such as never was. The great tribulation begins at the abomination, at the midpoint, not at the start. The first half is birth pains, the threshing floor. The sifting the bride is still here through the beginning of sorrows because she exits before the wrath. Now hear both timelines side by side. The beast was given his 7 years at sundown September 22nd, 2025. His clock ends September 15th, 2032, Yom Kippur, when the king returns to atone for Israel nationally. The Day of Atonement fulfilled. Israel looks on him whom they pierced and mourns. Zechariah 12:10, 0 days off the feast, sealed. The bride's exit is on the Jonah clock, anchored to Nisan 17, 2026, the sign of Jonah, the only sign Jesus said would be given to this generation. The Jonah 40-day window closes at sundown May 13th, the same sunset that begins Israel's 78th birthday in Hebrew time. The same sunset that opens day 40 of the warning. The same sunset from which 20 days lands on Passover 2033, exactly 3 seals, 1 sunset. These are not competing models. They are the architecture of the end. 2 events, 2 feasts, 2 clocks, both sealed from the text. Both confirmed by the celestial signs God placed at both ends of the period. The second coming fulfills Yom Kippur, September 15th, 2032. The coronation fulfills first fruits, April 10th, 2033. The king comes twice more, once for his bride, once for his nation. Both on schedule, both on a feast, both sealed. Daniel 9:27, Daniel 12:11 and 12, Matthew 24:15 through 21, 1 Thessalonians 4 and 5. Revelation 3:10, Zechariah 12:10, 1 Corinthians 15:20 through 23, Joel 2:31. September 22nd, 2025 plus 50 days equals September 15th, 2032, Yom Kippur, 0-day seal. May 13th, sundown 2026 plus 50 days equals April 6, 2033. Passover, exact.